Well, I'm a Denver native, and kind of rare but true. And aside from a couple years living in New York and Michigan after college, I've lived here my whole life. I've got two daughters, and they've been the biggest blessing in my life. We live in Denver in the Lodo area. It's about 2 blocks from Coors Field where the Rockies play. So that's a lot of fun, especially in the summertime. I love spending time with my daughters, and I have an English bulldog, Rocco. He's just a character. I'm an avid reader. I love movies, like creating new dishes, and I actually have I think, perfected a bolognese sauce that I think is great. So I've taken up sailing a couple years ago, and I love getting out there. I'm still learning a lot, but love getting out there. I started my financial services career in 1992, and the biggest reason I did so was my parents. My dad had a small general contracting firm, and my mom kept the books. And you know, my brother and I even helped him out. It was a true mom and pop type situation. I watched them doing the right thing for their clients. And so one of the things that always stuck with me when I was growing up was a conversation I remember my dad having with a friend of his, Bill. And my dad and Bill had gotten into the contracting business together. They worked for a big firm. Then they both split off and started their own firms. And there was a huge difference, though, in where they went from there. You know, as I mentioned, my mom and dad, they really kind of had a mom and pop operation, whereas Bill's business really grew into a big enterprise. He grew to the point that he had 2 other partners, 50 to 60 employees, and he regularly did multi-million-dollar projects. And the conversation I remember my dad having with Bill is asking how could their paths have been so divergent. And I'll never forget Bill's response to my dad. Is he told him, he said that early on he found himself a trusted financial professional, and helped him develop strategies to develop his business short-term, long-term, and wealth building, etc. And my dad, I remember saying, geez, I wish I would have met somebody like that. Unfortunately, my dad passed away unexpectedly in 1997, but what I can say, even as devastating as that was to our family, is that in the 5 years that I was in the business before he passed away, we were actually able to create a financial plan that to this day still takes care of my mom. Well, the biggest challenges we're seeing in the CPA community these days really revolves around how a CPA can differentiate themselves in the marketplace. There's a recent survey that was conducted by the Journal of Accountancy, and they found that in consumers' minds, typically they think of tax professionals as tax preparers. And really that's a commoditized business. You've got TurboTax out there and et cetera. So, the internal debate within the CPA community is really all about value-added services, value-based pricing versus the old hourly billing model. I think the biggest hurdle that we're seeing when it comes to CPAs addressing these challenges is that unless they're part of a top 100 firm or a big 4 firm, if they're in a small private practice, they're concerned about being unable to solve their best clients' tax bills when those clients have big profitable years. So, today's small to medium-sized business owner is a savvy, smart consumer, and they're expecting that their CPA should be helping them with forward-thinking, proactive advice, so that they can minimize or even eliminate those tax bills that they have to write to, the check to the IRS. So they're really looking for their CPA as their trusted financial professional to lead the way to help them save taxes, build long-term business value and wealth. Where Gray Ryan Wayne and Company comes in is we provide a private label back office service to private CPA firms. We seamlessly integrate our people, our processes, our solutions into the CPA's practice. And then by doing it this way, there's several challenges that the private practice CPA firms encounter that we can help. By bringing our specialized team of experts and our specialized technical knowledge to the CPA, we help them solve their best clients' tax problems, tax liabilities. And by partnering with us, the CPA doesn't have to take on additional staff, additional overhead. They don't have to become experts at non-CPA-centric areas of learning. And working with their existing clients, the CPA is going to actually generate significant additional revenue organically. That way they can cut out a lot of costly marketing. Client retention and satisfaction tends to skyrocket because you actually are solving these problems for those folks. And what we've seen with that is that you're going to actually see a significant increase in those same type of new client referrals. And then, ultimately, if a CPA wants to solve these problems for clients, the typical model is that they have to refer that out to somebody else. And there's an inherent risk in that, in the sense that they're concerned about, what's going to happen to that relationship. It doesn't have to happen that way. What really brings me the biggest sense of personal and professional accomplishment is to see the pride and satisfaction that the CPAs we work with feel when they've finished a project that we've done for one of their best clients, and they know that they've helped their client to achieve the very best outcome for a given situation, and that until they partnered with us, they weren't able to help that client achieve that outcome. The best way to explore whether working together would be a good fit is to give us a call or send us an email, and we'll schedule a telephone appointment to learn more about your firm, your clientele, what kind of challenges you're facing, what kind of goals you have. We always want to explore how our philosophy, our culture, our expertise matches up with the CPA. When we're looking at the possibility of working together, we want to make sure there's a beneficial relationship for both sides.